Fired up, folks. This is BEG Wrestling, baby. We are here live for your National Duals Invitational reaction, dude. It was Ohio State. Look out, Iowa. Look out, the rest of college wrestling. We have a clear-cut number 2, and we're going to talk about that, and then we're going to get right into what everyone's thinking. The first thought on everyone's mind: how does Ohio State stack up against your Penn State Nittany Lions? How you doing?
Zach, I got to say this. Greatest son of all time, right there. No, I can't say that. I love my other son, too. Don't get me wrong there, Corey. Love you, Corey. How does a dad repay his son that you gave me this? You knew how whacked out I was over wrestling all these years, and here you give me this little podcast to come on and go crazy on every week. I absolutely love it.
I just got to keep you calm, keep you under control, dude. I'm like,
this was, you don't have to buy me any more Christmas gifts, anything. This was the biggest gift, and it's fun, and it gets more fun the further we go, really.
Yeah, I mean, I'm like Tom Brands to just calm you down, like get him a cup of coffee. Did you hear Tom Brands yelling that during the Hartzler match?
I don't know, but every time there's a Brands interview on, anywhere I see it, whether it's on Flow or somewhere, I have to click. I have to
Tom
click
Brands
that.
Must-see TV.
Yes, yeah. It is.
Yeah.
It is. Although he uses a lot of cliche lines and says the exact same things. But you mentioned about David Teller. You can almost predict what he's going to say. You can almost predict what Brands is going to say.
No.
However, there's a wild card about Brands. You don't know what's coming next. And just watching his body language and actions, especially during the match,
he yells out, "Get him a cup of coffee." I don't know if he was referring
that
to
was Terry.
Are you gonna wrestle anytime? You gonna get him a cup of coffee, dude, and a cupcake, or what? Like,
that's some real men right there, them Brands boys. I'd like to meet their mom and dad. I wonder if they're still.
Well, yeah, go watch some documentaries on them. But hey, dude. Talking about tough guys, dude. Everyone who wrestled in this tournament, folks, came out looking pretty beat up, dude. You see Angelo's face? Wow. AJ took some shots. You see Feldman's face, dude. Wrestlers. But, you know, the big concern before we get into it was injuries. Everyone said, you don't want to wrestle and get injured, right? That's what you kept saying. Cry wolf. Did we actually have any?
Well, we don't know for certain. We could have had some. We'll find out this coming week.
Ben Keeter,
but hopefully not.
Ben Keeter, we don't know. And maybe Antrell Taylor had an injury we don't know of the way he looked. I don't know. I'm sure there will be something, but at least on the surface, we didn't really see any big injuries.
I'll say this, Zach. He's kind of bragged about this a little bit. He has a right to brag about it. But I think he might have taken a bigger bite of the pie than he wanted. And what I'm talking about is Iowa's schedule. I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Well, it could be. The dual meet of the year was Iowa, Oklahoma State.
Yeah, you see like Angelo that beat up and whatnot, and it's like, and he despises losing ever, but especially duels. That had to kill him, that whole Ohio State thing. Oh. Now, they came back and they won 4 of the 10, but
how about Ohio State, dude, coming out and just playing some bully ball especially at these lightweights, dude, starting with Buzakis at 125, pinning Peterson, and we're going to talk about it, but Buzakis could be a problem there at 125.
Well, of course, the biggest thing we're going to cover, we'll go over how that final went briefly, but the biggest thing in everyone's mind right now, as far as I'm concerned, where the first thought your head went to is, I wonder how they do against Penn State. Yeah. So we're going to break it down, and you started talking crazy town over there. What did you say?
Like Ohio State's one match, one slight upset maybe from taking it against Penn State, right?
What?
I'm telling you, folks. What? I'm telling you, the way Buzakis, that's what I said. Buzakis could be a problem. One catch and one cradle on Lillendahl, and all of a sudden, Ohio State across the board as a team looked better than I expected. Every wrestler pretty much down the line.
I got to say, Zach, as I was watching them perform that well, you know, you get it bothers you a little more. Like, no, Davino can't hang with Blaze, right?
Ben Davino, dude, knocking off Drake Ayala 10-4. It wasn't even close. Ben Davino, baby, maybe the biggest up stock after this tournament of any other wrestler.
Yeah, and the point that you're going to try to make is they could knock off Penn State this year. One of the weights that you need as an Ohio State win is the Davino over Blaze. And you say, that's crazy town. A lot of people say, a lot of Penn State fans would say that and stuff. Davino is the last guy to beat Marcus in a folk-style match. And now that was back in quite a ways back.
But it was the last time, dude. And Ben Davino's clearly gotten better.
Yeah.
Ben Davino, Marcus Blaze, folks, are going to be talking about it, breaking it down.
Not to get sidetracked too much, we were talking right before we hit the record button or whatever, and you talk about two wrestlers that absolutely look a major step improvement. That's Patty Gallagher. I mean, he was always a great wrestler, but there is no doubt he jumped levels. There is no doubt. And he can give anyone in the country, you say, no, Patty Gallagher can't hang with Mitchell. And my instinct is say, yes, you're right. He's not going to hang with Mitchell. However, I don't know. I mean, no, I don't think he can beat Mitchell. Could he keep it to a regular decision? Maybe. I love the way he moves. He's constantly moving. And you teach that with the young kids. The other one was Fishback. Fishback. He looks bigger than everybody else.
Fishback's a problem, dude, out of nowhere.
He is absolutely improved, no doubt. And I don't know.
Took Angelo to sudden victory overtime. Didn't he with Max as well, McAnally?
Yeah, it was right. Yeah. Yes,
overtime with McAnally and Ferrari, dude. Dylan Fishback, dude. Stock way up on him. Matt says that Luke Geog got hurt. I'm not sure if it's long-term or not. Okay, that could be one.
That could be one.
We missed that one, but
here's the thing with Keeter, too, and believe me, I was going to need Keeter, but I think right now how Brand's licking his wounds, he absolutely hates losing, and it's why I like Brands so much. I like a guy that absolutely despises losing. Now, you'll hear Kale say about, no, the real important things is being grateful about your friends and family and all this other stuff in life. And he's absolutely right. And I think that's genuine. Obviously, it's genuine. And he preaches this, or he teaches this to his team. That's genuine also. However, deep down inside, Sanderson has an equal amount of hate about losing.
Dog
it's
him.
Obvious. It's
same
obvious.
Kind of dog.
Yes.
At the core.
Yeah. So, we get into this Ohio State against Penn State thing, and your first reaction is, on paper, Ohio State looks like they can win 5 of them and hang. Who knows? Mendez maybe getting a pin here. Maybe Wazaka's pulling off a surprise pin on Luke or something. All of a sudden, no, that's not crazy. It's possible. Zach, at some point, Penn State has to lose, right? At some point. This can't go on forever.
Well, we talked about it. It was, a half decade ago that Penn State pulled this kind of upset off against Ohio State.
Exactly right. They had no business winning that duel, and they did it. And it's just, no one in this wrestling community can say 100% that ain't happening. A lot of Penn State fans will say it because on the surface, you feel like you can say it, but I'm sorry, that Ohio State team is too good, and I've seen too many matches in my life and seen too many surprises and a surprise pin over here, and all of a sudden, everything's different. I will be worked up for that. When is it? February
13th. February 13th
yes.
is the dual meet Ohio State and Penn State.
That's at the Bryce Jordan Center in State College, and
we're going to look at it, but listen, I want to mention once all of a sudden 165-pound. Caliendo not a clear number 2. Patty Gallagher out of nowhere, and Lockett. Right? Like, all of a sudden, the 165-pound became a lot more interesting than I thought it was going to be.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, and that's another wow, how's Lockett going to be able to do against Mitchell? And
That could be the match.
Lockett's out there telling the press, I want Mitchell. And I want Caliendo. I want the big dogs. And, okay, he's got a little dog in him, too. But be careful what you're asking for there. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Okay, well, he's only going to get better as well. And, all of a sudden, Mitchell Messenbrink, maybe not the clear-cut front runner there for the Hodge. Sneaky Levi going to get in there.
Yeah, it's a lot of times you just had it written down. Well, you remember we had Stevenson written down as here's another Hodge for Stevenson his last year. And no, I don't think so. And I think we may end up surprised with the direction the Hodge goes throughout this year. And everyone's eligible. I mean, you see a guy like Davino, and he starts pulling off some big wins against major. That is the single match that I cannot wait to watch Davino against Blaze, because Davino is for real, no doubt.
Yeah,
no doubt.
Throughout the tournament, dude, Davino.
Yeah, I'm gonna be a pack of nerves that daggone night, brother.
Yeah, I just want to say, the whole momentum of this duels final, Ohio State just came out of the gate and just really stomped them, dude. And then it was Caliendo, Kennedy, and Ferrari winning in 3 straight overtime matches, kind of like putting the brakes on it. And then Endine. Endine, dude, we talked about him yesterday, but really Endine came out. That dude is a dog. Like,
can I make a prediction about Endine? I open the rankings just to get everyone, the Elams in there, and don't forget Rademacher is in there. And although he had a match that was 4-1 against an unranked guy, I'm thinking, what 4-1? What did you just get lazy or something? Because what I seen in the freestyle season, that guy had me worried. Now I'm sure he's gonna still worry me but I have Endine getting very, very possibly 6th, 7th, or 8th. I cannot see him getting 5th, but we're still learning about the dude. So I can't say. I will say one thing. Obviously, he's powerful, as Terry said, but I like the coordination and the speed of his feet. And I mean, a big man moved around that. Yeah, he's got some elements that could really shock. And then he's got that blast through double where he just seems to put people right on their back, and that's a threat to anyone, even Josh Barr. You be aware of this. Watch out.
Yeah, that actually could be a fun match. But listen, the other weight I do want to ask you about before we move on and look at what Ohio State, Penn State is going to look like, 184 weight class. Ferrari, McAnally, Fish back there, Sinclair. Has your mind changed at all? Your power rankings at 184 after this?
No, I liked how you said it best. I think that was the perfect way. I got it 40% Angelo. I got it 30% Sinclair, 30% McAnally. Now, I think McAnally had, let's call it a down weekend, but some people kind of said he looks like he's trying to get more technical than just like going in there and powering through people. Or something looks different about McAnally this year. And I don't know. I haven't studied his wrestling that much, although 6-3 to Sinclair. But as you said, he controlled the match. I still haven't seen that match.
Well, I just want to say, maybe he had a bad weekend. I don't know. Maybe he had an upset stomach or something. But all I kept hearing is man strength, McAnally, man strength. Well, the only man strength, that's all, was Sinclair holding you down. You can't, like Kale said back a year ago in the interview, get out from the bottom. Get out, McAnally. He could not.
If I was an Iowa fan, and I am a Angelo fan because he's come on the show. I know he's maybe your favorite wrestler, and I am too. But let's pretend I'm an Iowa fan. Sinclair would bother me. I just didn't like how that match unfolded. Like, there was an element that Angelo does his stuff so well winning them close matches and all that, his defense, everything you said, I agree. I just don't like the possibility of him being able to do that 100% against Sinclair. Sinclair really shined.
Yeah, and the takedown against McAnally was just a power reshot, dude.
Yeah.
It pretty much just blasted right through McAnally, dude. And then, I mean, Sinclair stock up this week.
Yeah, and now if I'm right, I mean, I don't have Iowa's schedule in front of me, but I'm certain they don't wrestle Missouri. So it'll be at Nationals before they meet again. And that just was one that would bother me a little bit. So I said, even during our last live show, the thought of Sinclair being the national champion at 184 pounds, let them words resonate a little bit, because that is not Dreamtown. And I'm not giving up on Max either, being the champion. But right now, the boss is Angelo.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, Angelo and Rocky both are so good defensively and everything. That's going to be a nerve-wracking match, too. That's going to come down. You can almost write it down. That and probably going to go to overtime, too. It probably will.
I mean, yeah.
So,
likely.
But I got to give to him, and he's proved it over and over last year with plot and everything. Angelo has that clutch gene or something.
And can I say this? Is it me, or did Angelo start the back split defense thing? It seems like ever since that Carter match, I'm seeing everyone doing that back leg split defense when someone has the leg now. Am I crazy, or is it just now when I saw Angelo do it, you just tend to see it more kind of thing? Or did he start that trend?
Well, I remember seeing Angelo do that in high school a lot. But, yeah, there's no doubt he is. Well, he hasn't given up a takedown in college yet.
I think Angelo might have the best defense in college wrestling, but I think there's room for improvement on his offense, which is a scary thing.
It's almost like, will that loss make AJ a little better? Maybe. We'll see how he responds, but it's almost like, as this not been taken down in college thing continues to go, yeah, you almost want him to get taken down. Let's eliminate that little bit of pressure. But
Angelo?
Some guys are just, they're the cool cats, man. That kind of stuff doesn't bother them. Their mindset. That's why me and you are sitting here doing a podcast, and we weren't out there on the mat wrestling. We let too many things in our head. Oh, I never gave up a takedown, and next thing you're wrestling tight. And some guys just don't let that stuff bother them.
Well, my arm would probably fall off if I did that. But
I noticed the other day you reached over, and when you getting that shoulder fixed, by the way?
I had an MRI last week, but no one cares about that, dude. We'll find out soon. We'll find out soon, dude. But everyone gonna be a little beat up, dude, and after this weekend. But folks, let's take a look at it, because if anything was made clear, it's that Ohio State is the clear-cut number 2 team in the country now, right? What Nebraska stock down, Oklahoma State stock down, Iowa stock down.
Yeah.
Ohio State's the clear-cut number 2 this year, folks. We touched on it a couple weeks ago. You kind of saw it coming. So let's take a look at.
With Oklahoma State, there you can hear them coming. You can hear them coming because but it's like somebody was saying, I made the case during the last live. How are they all going to fit in there? And you talk about juggling some red shirts here and Olympic shirts there and stuff. I mean, whether it's Jax, the Rainies, Vega, they got a lot of major studs right there at that same weight range. And, the thing is they got a lot of talent, but you want your talent spread out. You want to be able to go. But here's the thing. What's going to be fun? This is going to be fun. The element of Ono starting next year. I can't wait.
Is it starting next year? Yeah.
I mean the Davinos, whatever they do. Maybe Blaze takes his red shirt next year. I don't know. But Ono will be going next year. And, people people don't like talking about four-timers with these young superstars. And I can understand that, and I agree. And I think it's impossible to even imagine it with the major superstars we're talking about. Robindow. You just simply, not with Shapiro still around, not with Duke right there. No, I'm sorry. I don't know. Could Duke maybe run for? Maybe that's the guy.
Well, I don't know now. I mean, like you said, it's just the level of competition seemed like it's raised across the board.
Yeah, and watching, maybe we said that before, Duke and Jax would be probably the best bets, but you see a Robidoux, and if he could somehow separate away from Duke's weight class, wow, we'll see. But what caught that finals? Was there a particular match that just dropped your jaw, shocked you?
I mean, Davino, dude, and just the overall way Ohio State came out. I mean, Tom Ryan was fired up from a couple days before this even started, and it translated to the way his wrestlers wrestled on the mat. I mean, Ohio State just came out as a team and punched Iowa in the mouth, dude.
Yeah.
Punched them in the mouth, and it was like...
Well, your term that you used was the thought that went in my head when I watched Davino against Ayala. He ragdolled Ayala. He really did.
Yeah.
And, and the thing is with Mendez and everybody, he's a beast out there. He's vicious, and he's just out there beating people up. And is there anyone that can hang with him?
What's changed in Ohio State between last year and this year? Because, dude, even Mendez came out 17-1 over Bailey. I thought Mendez was a 3-2 wrestler, dude. And now it's like, no, he's not. Remember Clint said, I don't think Mendez is going to win majors or Tech Falls. He just said that when I made that in Wrestle Madness picks the other week. What happened to this Ohio State team? What changed in that locker room?
Well, Styles, Bartlett was a great style that really kept Mendez kind of throttled. And quite frankly, Brock Hardy. Well, after he looks like that against a daggone freshman, what was the score? I don't even want to. What was that daggone score?
I can't remember.
And I thought maybe we need to add another letter to that last name, Brock Hardley.
That's good. That's good. Did you just come up with that? You had to think of that.
Because you talk about getting ragdolled.
There's no way you just came up with that on the spot. You don't.
No, I did think about that on the way over, to tell you the truth. But seriously, that was embarrassing. And they say he might quite possibly be the nicest guy in all of college wrestling. And I've heard interviews, and I can believe that. I mean, very, very smart, very put together, obviously a great wrestler. But how's he feeling right now when you have a daggone freshman come and spank you?
I know, man.
That's after you lost again to Mendez. And it's like right now, his chances of being a national champ, I mean, that coach, I mean, Manning's got some work to do to get in that head to be back to believing I can win this. But
Well, they showed up at the right time last year in Nebraska. So, and, this is the first time having this tournament. Maybe Nebraska didn't build up for this to be, for everyone to be at their peak.
Well, I think Kevin, and we talk about styles, Kevin gave a great example that Vega, when he wrestles a guy that's coming at him, he has his way. Mm-hmm. And the Hardy's style against a guy like Vega he's going to have almost impossible to have success there. And, Vega had some close matches with people that you think, well, I thought he'd get a major or something there. And it's how styles match up. It's hard to guess. Do I think Hardy will give Mendez a major scare yet again, maybe even more than once? Yeah, I do. And could he beat Mendez? I don't know. I'm not a big Mendez fan. And, I heard the term, he kind of acts like a punk. He acts like a punk at times.
What, Mendez?
Yes.
Well, he just punked in the sewer belly, dude.
Yes, someone needs to take him down.
Oh, please. Listen, couple comments, and we got some breaking news here. Literally, but Cornell Kevin says Ohio State's first half of lineup was undefeated this weekend. Okay? Then we got Stetson Starkey. Whoa, just heard the big news about Jax Forrest. You're saying, what is the big news about Jax Forrest? Bang! Apparently, he's leaving high school early. Is that confirmed, Starkey? Starkey's a reliable source, dude. I trust him.
Yeah, well, quite frankly, I heard some other, I don't want to bring up names, but I heard some other people that we all know very well kind of mention that's a real possibility.
That's happening. It just broke.
Happening. Oh, it just broke.
Yeah, Jax Forrest leaving high school early. Starkey, wow, that's huge. Underrated impact of this will really hurt the transfer market. I don't know. I gotta think about this. But Jax Forrest coming in early. David Taylor said, "Bring in backup, boys." I didn't like what I saw this weekend. We need backup, Jax. Get here now.
Well, year 2, Kale won a title.
Wow.
And David, you're falling behind already, pal.
How about? I love it.
I mean, you better talk Jackson to quitting high school. Do something, because right now I ain't seeing no title come year 2. And that's what you got to do.
Wow. Apparently Willie said it on Bosch. But listen, I love it. You always complain about holding wrestlers back in high school. How about Jack says, nope, let's go. I love it. He's at that level now, dude. Why not? Why not get out there? But Jax Forrest, we're going to see him soon. Actually, this is Starkey, dude. Let's take Starkey's call. He's the one who kind of delivered the news here. So let's give him a chance to kind of speak on it. And if I can get him in here. Starkey, whoops. Got this comments over here, but Starkey with the breaking news that Jax Forrest. Starkey, welcome to the show, man.
Hello. I got to keep it quick, but I just heard on the Botchamania podcast, Willie just broke the news. I don't know the details behind it, but that cannot be good for Richie Figueroa or a lot of the other transfers that just didn't deliver this weekend. Like, it looks like they're trying to fill some gaps with high school studs, so...
Wow.
Oklahoma State wants to win today. They do not want to wait. And then the other interesting thing is I'm always curious about the race for who's going to be the first guy to go undefeated since Kale. If Jax joins too early, it might be hard for him to do it, but maybe Vega or somebody else that we didn't even think about could be the next candidate to run the gauntlet. So we'll see. I'm curious what you guys think.
Man, that's incredible. Thank you, Starkey.
Yes. Hey, we're talking 33, right? 133?
I don't know. He might be bigger. I don't know. I don't know what he'd go for. I really don't.
Wow.
I don't know. I text Kevin, and he fell asleep on me because I'm still waiting on the response, Kevin.
Starkey's not sleeping, baby. Where are you at? Are you Chicago?
Because I want to see Davino Jax. I want to see Marcus Jax. I don't think he's at... I don't know. I should know that. And now I'm embarrassed of how little I know. What weight will Jax actually be at?
Maybe, Starkey, are you out of Chicago, by the way? You're right.
No. North Carolina.
North Carolina. Okay. All right.
Yeah. Well. That's why I love Jax. He's a fellow North Carolinian as well. So that's why I'm his biggest fan.
All right.
Yeah, listen. Kevin just replied. Thanks, Kevin. I'm just kidding. It
133.
will be 33. And, wow, dude. Wow. Whoa.
My first thought, did David Taylor see like a Ben DeVino this past weekend and think, all right, what are we waiting on?
It probably made him mad.
Yes. What are we waiting on, Jack? Get up here right now. Because that's the first thing I'm thinking of, dude. He just saw Ben DeVino and some of these other Lockett and said, dude, what are we waiting on? Let's go.
Yeah, you Ohio State people over there having a party about your big old, stud freshman. Let me show you how, or hold my beer. Hold my beer because I'm going to show you something.
Okay.
But
wow.
Seriously, DeVino against Jax? That's an intriguing matchup.
That's going to be fun. Starkey, final thoughts, man. I know you said you had to make it quick, but, dude, we appreciate it.
No, I appreciate it. Final thing I'm going to say is I really appreciate you guys going live on Sunday halfway during the day. Like, super fans just want to recap the matches. They want to preview the next matches. Like, it was really fun. You guys, again, filling a niche. Like, nobody else had a time slot right then. You know, there'll be 18 other people going live after the event, but to do it right there in the middle, that was perfect. It was really appreciated, and a lot of the super fans love it. So
Yeah.
thanks for the consistency, guys. Appreciate
Hey,
it.
By the way,
thank you.
when we have a
Starkey.
Hall of
Much
Fame
appreciated.
for BEG fans, Starkey's right. He's like first vote he's in.
Well, Starkey, you're the one who reminded me that of how warm it is all year in Blacksburg, right? Palm trees.
Yes. And in Arizona, and yeah, everywhere else.
Hey.
No, that was a good joke. I'm glad you took it well. I gotta go, guys, but I'll be listening to the chat. Thanks,
All right.
appreciate it.
Thanks, Starkey.
See you, man.
Hey, yeah, Starkey's the one who gave me a hard time in the comments, made me make the palm trees in Blacksburg picture up, dude. Give him a hard time. But hey, Starkey with the update. Jack's Forest is coming, folks. David Taylor said, I don't like losing. I don't like this losing thing. Let's go.
Yeah. Which you got to respect that too.
You got to respect it.
And I can only imagine how excited Oklahoma State people are.
Yeah.
Because they got years of fun coming their way.
Okay. Are you going to see any other wrestlers come out early now? Because there's going to be repercussions from this, right? Jax is going to do it. Do you think he's going to be the only one?
I don't know.
I doubt it.
You would think,
Can
wouldn't it
Bassett?
make sense for Miller to come out early?
Yeah, like,
To join Bo?
should we expect to see some other names
I
drop?
don't know. I don't even understand how that all works, to tell you the truth.
I think David Taylor saw Ben DeVino this week and said, I think it changed his mind. I think that might have motivated him, really.
Well, that's got to tear up a guy like Jax to sit there and watch that kind of action. And quite frankly, it had to tear up Penn State guys. You're sitting there watching the sport just really grow right before your eyes.
A spotlight.
Because it's incredible action, and you're sitting on the sidelines.
ESPN2, dude, Shane Sparks, and it felt like the national championships, and Penn State they just weren't there. But
Yeah, but as I said, I'm done questioning Kel. I'm done. Whatever he...
I don't care that they weren't there at all, dude. That was awesome. That was incredible wrestling.
Yeah, and I'll tell you the honest truth. I don't see. They basically already said it's at the beginning of the year again next year. So I don't think Penn
They
State's
already put the date in for next
I
year.
don't think Penn State's going to be there again. I'll tell you one thing I do expect. I think Brands is going to say let's soften up his schedule a little bit because the landmines that he has to go through.
Well, you could see some schedule adjustments now that if teams are going to build this in. Yeah, I mean, now that we see how beat up some of these guys
something
got.
like the Soldier Salute, that's been gaining strength over the years. I don't know, maybe a lot of the regular guys won't even wrestle in the Soldier Salute because their regular schedule, I mean, they got the Big Ten schedule, but then you got the Iowa States and the Oklahoma States, and the whole daggone Iowa schedule blows me away. They were, without a doubt, the hardest schedule. And we've spent previous years on this podcast praising teams that we deemed had the toughest schedule.
Yeah.
I think on a previous year, I think we were saying Arizona State, and we praised how tough of a schedule they got. And, I mean, that's just fun to watch a team go back to war and back to war. The thing is Brands has to have his guys healthy at the right time, and you can say what you will about Cal, but somebody said, didn't it look like Ohio State? Tom Ryan had Ohio State peaking.
I just said that earlier.
Yes,
I think he had his team peaking versus like Nebraska didn't look like they were coached to be at their peak. Versus Ohio State came and, dude, this was their national championship. By the way, took home almost $250,000. Scott Richardson, dude, another shout out to him and Paycom. What did you hear Richardson on the mic during the finals? Yeah. Why did I expect his voice to be a little deeper than this? I'm just kidding, Richardson. Oh, dude, but yeah, he's scheduling it out. No excuse, Penn State. The date's on the schedule for next year already.
Yeah, you gotta love a guy that. Could you imagine being that rich? Finally, we got a rich guy that says, well, we got more than one because I think each major team has one. But a guy as big and rich, take that money and stop blowing it on crap. Take the money, put it into this sport, and he did. And
I wish Sparks would have asked him some tougher questions.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You
Hey,
know.
Richardson, this is a drop in the bucket for you, dude. Like, well, I mean, come on. What? Let's up the ante next year. How much are we doubling it next year, Richardson?
Wow.
Yeah, that's a great question, Shane. Maybe.
I'm just kidding. Out of here. Whoa.
Whoa,
Poor Chad. Dang, go on.
Dude, we love him, dude.
Yeah, we
Greatest
love him.
wrestling in the early season, dude. But hey, listen. Now let's get to it. Let's look at these matches. Break down Ohio State, Penn State, because there is a chance. There's an outside chance. Now you're the Davino stock way up. Now, if he could knock off Blaze. All right, let's go through the matches that we could expect Ohio State to maybe win, and then maybe an upset that it might require.
You make the case. You're the one that's saying,
Okay,
I'm here to say no. It ain't
Okay,
going
I'm
to
going to
happen.
say
Except-
Davino pulls it off, gets a decision, over Blaze.
Well,
Mendez.
I can't argue that because obviously, as I've said previously, Blaze's last folk-style loss was to Davino. Obviously, Davino looks very good. And Blaze is Blaze, so, I mean, Davino's going to have to earn it, but it's not crazy town for you to say Davino could beat Blaze
Yeah.
on a particular night.
A decision. Sneaks by with decision, then you move on, and
Okay,
Mendez.
I give you that one. There's one.
The way Mendez is looking, he might tech fall Nagao.
There's two, and the amount of bonus points are actually big. So
That's like 8-0 right now.
And I don't know. It's a shame that we can't have 5 dates for everybody because that'd be a nice date to get like Braden Davis out. Because I don't like any wrestler that's rolling to your back, especially against a guy like Mendez. You roll to your back, I'll keep you there. So
Well,
we
if Nagau's
very
gonna let
easily could
Mendez
give
in on
up
it.
6. Yeah, we could give up 6 there. But there's 2, and there's no doubt about it. Do I see any hope that Nagao could beat Mendez? Please,
No, not
Aaron, please prove me wrong. But I would say I don't see.
I don't
see
either,
how.
but I just think Mendez is a different level. He's going to let him in on his legs. But I want to say this, dude. We keep down in Nagao. He's going to be better than you expect this year. I'm just going to say that, but not against Mendez.
By the way, before we go on, I noticed you didn't even address 125. So
I was
just
going to
have
finish up on that.
Okay.
Okay, I was going to close up on that one. So, all right, then we go Styles, Van Ness. Ethan Styles beating Van Ness.
We're at 2.
Unlikely, but Ohio State could need this one, and it. Do I need that one? I think I need that one. I think we need that one, Ohio State.
Man,
Maybe.
we're really stretching
No, let's go
things
3.
here.
Let's go 3 Penn State there. Van Ness 3. Okay. Duke Cannon. We'll go Duke 3.
Yeah.
8-6 Ohio State in the lead right now. Messenbrink, Gallagher. Although Patty Gallagher, you mentioned it. Maybe this is not a tech fall or a major, maybe just a regular decision for Messenbrink.
And yeah, I was that impressed. If anyone could keep it to just a regular decision, what I seen this weekend, I was totally impressed with. Most likely, I think Messenbrink gets a major, but yeah, he may. And these bonus points might be the difference.
Might be the difference because
We're,
if you get
I'm
5-5.
still, yeah.
Yeah, and I think we're 9-8 Penn State after the Messenbrink match. Then you go to Haynes, Harchla, Silent K.
By the way, somebody wrote there that it's Archula. No, it's not. I know I mess up names all the time. It's
We
not,
know names.
It's not Carchula. It's not. It's everybody repeat after me. Archula. Harchula. Now, I heard an expert tell me that, and maybe but I'm pretty sure I'm right there, Zach. You can't hear any K or C. It's Harchula.
Okay, moving on. Levi, I'm going to give Levi a decision over Harchula. Then we go Fishback and Rocco Welsh, dude.
By the way, don't be surprised if Levi sticks a major on him.
Okay, we'll
or
give him a
sticks
major.
him.
Give him
Or
a major.
sticks him.
Or sticks him.
But give him 3. I want to go best case scenario for Ohio State here.
So it's 12-8 Penn State right now. We started at 133, and we're on to Fishback Welsh, which is that 50-50 right now? The way Fishbacks looked?
Wow.
Let's give that one. Let's give the decision to Fishback,
Wow.
which actually makes it 12-11 Penn State in the lead.
Wow. And I can't say that's crazy town because that's how impressed I was with Fishback. However, we've really not got a chance to see where Rocco's at yet. So we'll get to see more this coming weekend. We got the Black Knight
Invitational?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. All right. So we're going to give that 50-50 and go Fishback. It's Penn State in the lead, 12-11, and takes us to Josh Barr and Geog or Shoemate. Boy, you're lucky this isn't until
Thank
mid-February, so
thank
Barr can be
goodness.
healthy.
Yeah.
Could you imagine if Barr was hurt during this duel? We'll give it to Barr,
Hey,
but dude.
I'll take Marisola. I'm not so sure Marisola. Somebody said this, and I kind of agree with. I'm not so sure Connor Marisola isn't the second best 197 pounder in the country.
Well,
I am. That's not crazy talk either.
Well, that's kind of crazy talk.
No.
That's kind of crazy talk, dude. He's
No,
not. We're going to
no.
give Barr back. We're going to give Barr a decision there. Then we go to
Decision?
the heavy.
I'm thinking, okay, go best case scenario decision.
No, let's go major there. 16-11, Penn State in the lead.
Okay.
2 matches left. Heavyweight, you got to take Feldman here. You got to take Feldman
You can
here.
say that because we're all big and mighty on Feldman because he just knocked off AJ. But, you know, you can look at another result where Feldman won 4-2 against, I don't have the name here, but we're not talking about a real high-ranked guy.
What, after his face was split in 2?
No. Dude,
Did you see Feldman's face?
Dude.
After the AJ match, dude? Both of them got beat up. Dude, that was a war. AJ and Feldman was a war, dude.
I think we're going to be like Cole Marisola and his possibilities. I think he's going to be higher than anyone's got in their brains right now. Most people have in their brains maybe 8th, most likely round of 16. I don't, dude, I'm telling you, he's going to top them expectations. But we'll see. I'll give it to Feldman. Let's go
You have
best
to give it
case
to
scenario.
Feldman.
I'll give it to Feldman, but I ain't going anything but a tight regular decision.
Yeah, that's all I went. Decision, and which makes it 16-14 Penn State in the lead, and we loop back around to 125, and it's Lillendahl and Buzakis or Macron, and if Buzakis can lock up a cradle, that puts Ohio State with the win, with the dub.
And that's a very interesting scenario in itself, is which one's best to send against Lillendahl. Because maybe a Macron may be better. But if there's one thing I like about Lillendahl, he doesn't wrestle someone else's matches. They have to wrestle his match. And I often said with Macron, the thing is, you hate guys they going in for a single and then coming out through the back because you're going right into Macron's wheelhouse. And a lot of times Macron ends up getting the takedown. I don't see – there's too much speed, too many sweep singles. I don't see who do you think is the strongest possibility of beating Luke? Buzakis or
After
Macron?
what I saw, I'd send out Buzakis, yeah.
Yeah, maybe. And you made your point. And here's the thing. I hate to say this, and I know we have a lot of Penn State fans, but at some point, Penn State has to lose. This streak, which it's going to be the all-time record before January or something like that. I think it's at 76, and they're at 72 or something like that. at some point, Penn State has to lose. And you have a team as talented as Ohio State. Things could go right for them, wrong for us. And yes, it is possible. And whenever that happens, whenever that day happens, I personally don't think that's going to happen this year. No chance. We'll see about next year. But I do realize it could happen. And I also know this. When it does happen, you will be the first one sitting over there yelling at the top of your voice, Dynasty is over.
Well, we'll
Dynasty is over, people.
We'll be going live that night, dude. But
I may not. I might be busy that night.
yeah,
I'm not sure.
yeah, you better. No, I will come to you. I got a lot of people in the comments hating on us for talking Penn State today. I agree, kind of. This is not Penn State's time to talk about them. Bradford in the comments, not a wrestler.
I know, but Penn State just keeps pulling me
Ohio
back in.
State
They just pull me back in.
weekend, folks.
I know. Daggone Ohio State. Look at them Buckeyes.
Ohio State's weekend. It was a weekend for wrestling, okay? And as everyone talks
Tom Bryan, that whole coaching staff, they obviously got a good little setup going there. You know, for the record, I've always liked Tom Bryan. I always kind of liked him. And
he's got some fire, doesn't he?
You know, how many Iowa brings all these guys in. Their whole team came from somewhere else, almost. Tom Ryan resisted against that, and I always respected that. Now, they brought in Fishback, I realize, and I have to look down through the lineup. I don't think, maybe everybody else they actually recruited. I don't know. Somebody in the chat can fill me in. But I like that about Tom Ryan. I like that, and, you know, daggone.
Yeah, because Kale gave in. But, yeah, Tom always was against. Tom Ryan was always against transfers. Yeah. And
yeah, he
and look what he's building now, dude.
And the thing is the thing we both said is it's so tempting because you see a big name, but how many times do we got to see this repeated? Now, Buchanan was the outlier, but they transfer. You have these expectations, and what's the amount of times they actually even meet them, much less exceed them? No, it's always below. They go below what you were thinking
more times than
this
not,
big name transfer is going to do. It never works out, it seems.
I think because as a fan, you only see on the surface that, okay, they're going to go from this coach to this coach and better team, better. But the reality of it is, as a kid, dude, in college, to transfer schools, go to a completely new environment, I think there's a lot more involved in that. You're changing your whole life, too. Yeah. While you're trying to then also improve wrestling, I mean, it probably takes a year just to get settled into your new routines. Like, I'm a big routine guy, dude. If you throw me off my routines, I'm not as functional, you know? And for these wrestlers, they have to go establish new routines in a new environment.
Oh, it's got to be incredibly tough. New friends, new living quarters, new coaches, new everything. And some people love change. You were always like that. You loved change.
Well, yeah, I never minded change. I like some change.
I
like the chaos of change because most people are bad at handling the chaos of change. And if you're pretty
that's
good
too much. I like being in a fetal position in a safe little corner somewhere doing the exact same routine every day.
Yeah, but just like Game of Thrones, they say in Game of Thrones, chaos is a ladder. Then during those times is when you level up, dude. When everyone else is not looking, you level up, dude. Chaos is the ladder. Game of Thrones famous quote, dude. But
by the way, your brother kept on me. Dad, it's the greatest TV show. Well, both of you. Greatest TV show you ever saw. You got to watch Game of Thrones. I missed that show. That was really, really good.
I asked Kelly the other week, do you think there'll ever be a show for the rest of our lifetime that'll have that kind of impact where, dude, every Sunday for a new Game of Thrones episode, you were sitting around waiting and watching. With today's world and streaming and everything, is there ever going to be a show like that again? And really, in all sports, how many times you were a big Earnhardt guy, but to me, it was like Tiger Woods in his prime on Sundays. That was must-watch television. Game of Thrones was must-watch. NCAA championships, wrestling is must watch. Not a lot of must watch out there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Outside of live sports, really, I don't think there'll ever be a show like Game of Thrones. But
The thing is we'll get to be able to talk about all this after this all unfolds. And every year I tell my family, Penn State could lose this. It's a big match, folks. They could lose this, and the rest of my family usually laugh at me because Penn State never loses. I'll be saying the same thing with this daggone Ohio State.
Oh, I know. You're the boy who cried wolf every year. Our whole fantasy league knows it. Our whole fantasy league just makes fun of you for it.
I know.
Oh, Penn State could lose this match, huh? Okay.
Hey, they got me a little worried, and I'll tell you the honest truth. Future, heck, maybe even Oklahoma State. Although, please, can we get an Oklahoma State and a Penn State duel going? And Cal,
Yes.
okay, I know. I said I'm done doubting Cal and all that stuff. And I know we're in the Big Ten and we got a tough schedule. I know. But can we get at least one decent, and I'm specifically talking Oklahoma State, and replace any one of your non-conference league duels with Oklahoma State? And for the good of wrestling, and well, that's not how we do things. We have a system, and we're sticking with that system. And I probably ought to just shut my mouth, because how can you argue against that? For the love of this sport, we all want to see that.
Or Penn State could just join the National Duals Invitational next year. I don't know, but dude, the breaking news today: Jax Forrest, David Taylor calling up the troops.
Wow.
He didn't like what he saw this weekend.
Wow.
Jax Forrest is on his way. Just packed his bags.
Wow.
He's boarding the airplane now, folks.
You know what?
He's going out to Stillwater to help.
Here's the thing. Okay, so Jax now is at 33. Wouldn't it be cool? It's almost like playing Texas Hold'em, and Kel gets out and
pulls the
flips
card.
the whole script and says, you know what? Maybe I will wrestle Ono this year. Boom!
For every action, there's a reaction. I mean, yeah, dude.
Wow.
Or Kale's like, maybe we will wrestle Oklahoma State in a dual meet, because Jax might go undefeated, and he might. We got to give him the Kale tax somehow, right?
If there's a Penn State wrestler out there that just will personally, I won't spread it, won't even tell anybody except I might tell Zach. If you could, I'll pay you just to know, how does an Ono and Marcus Blaze match in that practice room look? How does it look? If you, as a fellow teammate, had to tell me this would be where you'd put your money on which one of them win. Because right now, you know, that's got to be, wow. I mean, as much as
Hopefully
I
we'll
respect
get to see it.
Blaze's abilities, Ono's unbelievable.
Well, we won't even see Ono for another year, so
Yeah.
we'll wait to talk about him. But one final topic, I'm glad he brought it up, Wrestling Madness. How about Bo Nickel and that head kick? We'll close
Thank
out
you.
the show
I
with
did
Bo
want
Nickel.
to talk about that. And I also said, I finally got to see some of the other highlights, and I thought, okay, that was an impressive kick, but he was impressive the whole way through.
Bo Nickel.
mean, he was impressive the whole way through, and yeah, he was on a mission, and he's a competitor, and I think he reminded both himself and the rest of the UFC world, he's a major competitor.
Yeah, inside the ring. Now, we got to work on this trash talking a little bit. Bo Nickel's trash talk.
I read that.
I mean, you're
He
not.
says this is ESPN, so I can't cuss.
Yeah. So what did he say? So he didn't.
What
But it was
the
like,
What the freak did all you mother freakers, either you like me or you don't like me? And I'm thinking, I kind of like that. Thank goodness he didn't cuss.
dude, if I'm another fighter, dude, you think I'm scared now? Come on, man. If Bo, what would I do?
Yeah,
if I'm
he's
Bo?
not exactly Conor McGregor, is he?
Man, maybe he needs. It's like he's. I would act like I could not care less if I was Bo Nickel. Maybe I don't know, dude. I don't know. It's tough. It's like he's stuck trying to be a bad guy and a good guy, stuck in the middle.
I don't know, but he needed that.
But he did look good.
He was on the brink of being done.
Yeah,
UFC.
yeah. We talked about if he lost this fight, it could be it for Bo Nickel.
Or
but-
even just looked bad.
Yeah.
It could have killed his career.
Yeah. Well, because they demoted him from the main event. They said, dude, the fans were getting angry. Well, welcome back to the main event, Bo Nickel. But, folks, we're coming up on an hour, so, hey.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, now, just
We're out.
to remind,
no
we
show
won't be
tomorrow.
on tomorrow night.
No show tomorrow, but we'll be back Thursday.
You and Kevin will
Thursday,
be back
me and Kevin
Thursday.
back live. Yep.
I'll be busy in a truck. And then me and you will be returning to Tuesday nights at 7.
The pre-recorded. But, hey, I liked the feedback we got from Starkey, and we're going to continue to fit in live reactions.
Well, the thing is,
as
you with this
needed.
cute little boy of yours and really 3 young kids, I'd rather not go live because you can't trust I say the wrong thing. I'm willing to go live to make your life a little easier because I like that you're spending all this time with the kids. That's a good thing. But
We got other work to do, too, to make money, too. I try to squeeze that in every now and then.
yeah. I tell you what, though, wow, this is fun. This is fun.
What a weekend. What a weekend of wrestling. Great for the sport, dude. On ESPN, too. Didn't see that coming. Folks, it was Ohio State's weekend.
Yep.
Tom Ryan,
Yep.
but really, thanks again to Richie Sin, Oklahoma State. And, folks, we'll see you here in a couple days. So, see ya.
See ya.